Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday, and Sonic games. That's what we were talking about, kind of. No, we were talking about school, actually, my class. Yeah, taking a class on television. No, it's not just on television. What is media industries? That was the title of the class. Yes. So it's film and television and digital media as well. I think we're getting into the digital media part. But of course, you know, because this is a college course and digital media is kind of a new thing, or they don't really have a lot to say about it. So, can I just get in the door, please? That would be nice. There we go. So, of course, there's only like one lecture on it, even though that's probably the most relevant thing currently. And yeah, there's this emphasis on like, yeah, so stuff's gotta make money, so you can't, you know, sometimes you gotta compromise the art for business, you know? It sucks, but what can you do? What can you do? As soon as the idea pops into your head, like, hey, I can make money from this, right? You gotta account for business, you know. And you know what? To apply the knowledge that I gained in that class to, you know, digital media, you know, YouTube, Twitch, things like that, content creation. Yeah, that applies too, right? Because we've heard all sorts of things about, you know, the right and wrong ways for streamers and YouTubers and other content creators to make money. Right? There's a lot of people back in the heydays. I don't know, maybe heyday is the wrong word, but back in the day, there was a lot of people who were mad that YouTubers were taking sponsorships, that they were getting, that they were putting ads in their videos to get paid. And, you know, people were throwing around the word sellout a lot, which is funny because, you know, that's a word that exists, that has existed for a long time. And a lot of the time when it was used to refer to people in prior media industries like TV and movies, you know, or music as well. Saying, oh, they sold out, right? Because they they compromised either their morals or, you know, what they stood for, basically, for money. And that was basically the idea back in the day, and that's kind of the idea people were going for when they were using that word before, when YouTubers were just starting to take sponsorships. Now, it seems like, could be wrong, but it seems like people are more okay with it. And it's probably just because they didn't stop. So it basically became normal. Which is kind of effed if you think about it, but you know what, maybe all the protesting made it slightly less popular. Maybe. Who knows? It'd be nice to think that, you know, as a random person on the internet, when I say something, I am heard, but it's not always. Often, it's pretty rarely actually the case. And even if you're heard, there's nothing saying that anyone actually cares. So, yeah, there are ads in videos on YouTube now, not just the mid-roll ads. There are some YouTubers who have an ad on pretty much every video, maybe even every video. And people seem more okay with it now than they used to. Right, and that's basically exactly what we were talking about, where the ad has quote-unquote compromised the art. And of course, YouTube and the online content having the subversive roots that it has, there are plenty of content creators who will try to make their ad into part of their content. Right? They'll try to incorporate it as much as possible, or they'll try to do it ironically. But overall, the effect is the same. The influence of money did change the video, regardless of whether or not the person making it is actually making fun of the idea. You know, it's not... It's a weird thing, you know, but there are people now making a living off of YouTube and Twitch and all that who likely would be struggling if they weren't making that living, right? Because that sort of skill set isn't super easy to apply everywhere else, right? Like, you don't have to learn brain surgery to be a YouTuber. And in a way that, well, not just in a way, and that makes it more easy to get into, theoretically. But it also means that, yeah, you can't, unless you were studying to be a surgeon on the side while you were doing your YouTube stuff, which, you know, sometimes happens. I think I can think of at least one YouTuber that was actually also a doctor. Actually, I can think of a couple. Yeah, unless you're doing other stuff on the side that will contribute to having a career after online content creation, then yeah, you might be in a tough spot if something happens and, say, you know, your videos are demonetized forever. You're permanently banned from the site that you normally make your money off of, you know? And that's crazy. That's crazy that can just happen. And those people can be out of it. So, of course, they're going to take measures to be like, okay, well, I need to make sure that I am going to be okay if that ever happens, right? That I can do the things that I need to do, and probably also that I can do the things that I want to do, because, you know, a lot of people, it can be hard to tell at that point, because really all you need to do in life, all you need to, like, you know, have your physical body survive is food, water, and shelter. And a lot of people, basically anyone you think of who makes a living off of online content creation has that, right? They make enough that they have that, and even if they stopped earning anything for the rest of their life, they would probably be fine, right? Because they've made enough. However, there's also, yeah, that's where the want comes in. That's where, and also, you know, there are other needs in life too, than just the physical ones. But that's also where the want comes in, of like, well, yes, I got the basics, but also there's, you know, still content I want to create. There's still that I need, you know, funding for. And there's still, you know, people I want to provide for, and things I want to do that I would need money for. So yeah, it can be hard to tell the difference between that and, you know, I need this to survive. And I really don't know where I was going with this. I think I'm just kind of exploring the idea of money in online content creation. So hey, let's talk about another thing that people got upset about for a while, and I think are getting more okay with. And that is sex work. And that's maybe a controversial topic. And I probably won't dwell on the subject much because while I am currently not able to monetize my videos at all, just because I don't have the numbers that I would need. I also, these videos will probably be monetized eventually, and if I talk about it too much, then I can't monetize. But I'm talking about things like OnlyFans, basically. OnlyFans is a great example. A lot of people initially were like, when content creators started making OnlyFans for the sake of, not for the sake of either making more cash or just making content that they couldn't make on other platforms, because YouTube isn't exactly super excited about pornography being on their platform, or even things close to it. Yeah, people started getting upset. Like, oh man, look at this person. They're such a sleut, such a sleut for going this route. And I mean, it's really not that different ultimately, because hey, guess what? OnlyFans is another method of, another cash flow. It's really not that different from, putting ads in your videos. Having an OnlyFans and putting an ad in your vid. It's not really that different. It's just an alternative flow of cash. And unless you're really conservative about sex, which a lot of people in the West are, but unless you are, it's really not that big a deal. And people, I think, have gotten more okay with it. And I'm glad, because it's weird that people weren't okay with it. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how the introduction of the idea of making money on the internet, through content creation, through the creation of entertainment on the internet, has changed the actual content of that entertainment. It's interesting. It's interesting and weird. And honestly, I don't know if I would be making, okay, I would probably still be making stuff, but I don't know if I would be making nearly as much stuff if I didn't think, I probably wouldn't have over 1,000 videos made if I didn't know that I could make money off of it. And of course, you could argue whether that's a good or a bad thing, because of course that's going to invite people who are only in it for the money, as does anything that makes people money. But also, it gives people like me a reason to spend more time on it, right? Like, I'm assuming if you're this far into the video that you probably like, at least to some extent, you probably like my content. So, I guess that should go to show that yes, the monetization of a platform like YouTube isn't necessarily all bad, right? Because it does lead to more people making content. And more people making content means more good content. And yes, there is also going to be more bad content, But as long as we can sort through it, it's fine, right? You know, as long as we've got a good way to find the good, discern the good from the bad, right? You know, and you know, so like, I don't know, maybe if there was like a button that you could hit to show that you enjoyed a video or something, and then also a button. This might be the crazy part, but also a button to show if you disliked a video. That might be cool, you know, just to help people discern what's a good video and what's a bad video. And you know, it's maybe some people would abuse it, but like I still think it would be worth having, you know, that like and dislike button. You know, I think that would be pretty cool. A shame we don't have at least one of those things. There's one of those things that we don't have. I think I haven't actually checked recently. Did they bring the dislike button back? I don't remember. That's okay. That's the bit I'm going for here, is that I'm making fun of YouTube for getting rid of the dislike button. Because yes, I do think in a lot of cases it was actually useful for figuring out like, oh, is this a good video? But also the thing is, like, you don't even see likes and dislikes in freaking the YouTube app or on your phone or on your TV. You don't see them until you click on the video, which, I mean, it's still kind of useful then, but not as useful as if you could see it. Actually, can you even see likes and dislikes in the web version of YouTube without clicking on the video? Oh, obviously not dislikes anymore unless they brought it back, but I don't know. Again, I'm not sure if they brought dislikes back, because I saw I believe it was a Ludwig. He goes by Ludwig. A Ludwig video where he was where someone commented on his stream about, oh, you have dislikes, is that a thing? And then he made a joke about, oh yeah, it's an extension, you go to blah blah blah. It was a joke. He made fun of the person, you know, it was basically a D's nuts joke. So I'm actually not sure. I haven't checked to see if they brought it back, but he actually had the dislike button and, you know, a visible number of dislikes that on the video he was watching. So I was like, wait, is it back then? I don't know. Or was it actually an extension and he was only goofing about where to find that extension? Ow, fuck. Shit. Okay, it's fine. Okay, should have gone higher. Oh, whatever. Maybe I'll go higher next time. Cause as for this episode, that's a wrap. I had to keep with the pattern.